All right, you guys, happy Sunday. I'm trying to get a Sunday Q&A in for you guys. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Hold on a second. I'm doing it on my phone right now. Let me try to see if I can stack some up. Get it a little bit higher up. Happy Sunday, who's there? Ray. Hold on a second here, I just need to, my iPad for some reason went out of battery. We went to a shooting range today, and that was a whole lot of fun. I was gonna show you guys some pictures and some video that I took on my phone, but my iPad didn't work, so I'm doing this right now from my phone. Delano Johnson, whoa. Happy Sunday. You guys, any questions? We're doing a Q&A Sunday. I'm trying to squeeze in a Q&A Sunday for you guys. Paul, man, hello, happy Sunday. Drop it in the comment if you have any questions. Standard Investing, happy Sunday. Robert, happy Sunday, what up? We just came back from a shooting range. Oh man, that was such an experience. Any questions you guys have about wholesaling, virtual wholesaling, pop it in the comment. Let's get an answer. This is your guys' day. Happy Sunday, Steady Eddie. Happy Sunday. What's up? Man, it's hot. It's hot here in Maryland. Hey, how do you get a contract signed with someone from a different state? Electronic, Kyle S. Happy Sunday. Use DocuSign. That's exactly what we're using. So you pretty much upload the documents onto DocuSign and you send it to the seller. Have you heard of Freedom? Hold on a second. Have you heard of Freedom Information Act? No. Miss MBU, what up, what up? Happy Sunday. Let's start this off by how do you organize your direct mail campaign? That is something my wife does, and yeah, so she does all of the marketing. So I don't know any about that. So I apologize. Hello, yes, shooting range is such a stress reliever. Laugh out loud from Texas. Glad to be here. Awesome, Susan. Happy Sunday. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the family. And I always, you know, when I was growing up, guns was kind of not like stay away. It's, you know, I'm afraid of it, etc. But I went with the military, man. So definitely taught me a lot today. Robert, when I get a property under contract, do I get? Man, I don't have my iPad, so I can't. Do I go straight to title company or wait till I get a buyer and then go to the title company? Robert. The thing is, since there is already a contingent on your contract, typically when we lock it up, we send it to our title company, get escrow open, you know, get escrow open, and then we find a buyer. Once we find a buyer, we send it in. So I would just send it into your title company, unless you know that the seller doesn't really care or not going to ask. Then really it's up to you. You can just wait until you get a buyer and then send it in. But I would just send it in since you already have a contingent. In the agreement anyway, that's going to protect you, so it doesn't really matter. Do you prefer double close or assignment? Please advise. So Craig Kenny, happy Sunday and welcome to the family and the channel. So I do assign majority of the time, but sometimes we have to do a double closing, and the only reason why we would do a double closing is to protect us, so that the buyer, because the assignment fee is so large that we don't want the buyer to have any issue knowing how much we make and then get upset or try to renegotiate, all right? Because we don't want to offend them saying, oh my God, he made more than I'm going to flip this property. So we typically assign it. It's easier when you just assign it, but when you do a double closing, it's typically your assignment is larger for us, and it's different in every area. Some area, the average assignment fee, you know, is 10 to 15 to 5,000. So which when you are signing it, it's completely okay, right? Those are small amount. But, you know, so in some area, when they get up to like a 20, 25, 30,000, maybe for you, you guys have to do a double closing. But for me, our average assignment fee is 20 to 25. So that is normal. So I can typically assign the 20, 25, 30, 35,000, no problem. But when it gets up into the 45, the 50, sometimes even the 40 range, depending on my buyers, I don't want to upset them. I don't want them to renegotiate with me. I don't want it to be a problem, right? So at that time, I would do a double closing just to make sure that that they don't have any issue. I just don't want any issue come up. I'd rather pay a little bit cost in the double closing and get it done. So I hope that answered your question. Delano Johnson, what are your 2019 goals? So Delano, so the goal for 2018 is $350 a month. So if I'm not going to hit it in 2018, I'm probably going to roll that over to 2019. I wanted to hit $350 per month every single month, right? So if I hit 1 or 2 months, that doesn't, you know, that mean I didn't hit my goal. It has to be consistent every single month. So if I didn't hit it this year, I'll probably roll it into the next year. You know, unless I feel like when we get closer to the end, where I feel like it is reachable. If it's reachable, then I gotta amp it up. You know, so I might have to you know, amp it up to like the 450 or the 500. But as far as right now, I'm thinking I'll probably have to carry this over to 2019 goal, 350 per month, every single month. When do you first start your direct mail? Oh man. I think when I first I think after 6 months, when I got my mentor, is when I start direct mail, because I didn't know about direct mail before. When I first started, all I know was call for sale by owner, call Craigslist, put ad on Craigslist, and things like that. You know, calling the landlord page for rent page and things like that. Calling people on the newspaper. So I didn't know about yellow letter direct mail until like 9 months in, when I met my mentor. I was doing a lot of cold calling agents and things like that to network with them. How many letters did you write and send out when you first got started? Oh man. When I first got started, I typically focused on expired listing. So because these are people that are, you know, that have a property that they wanted to sell, right? They put it on the market to sell through an agent, but for whatever reason, it didn't sell, and now the market has appreciated, and a lot of times some of these sellers doesn't know that the market has appreciated. So what I do is I just sit there, I copy the address, you know, and then I paste it on Redfin or Zillow just to make sure that the property that expired wasn't listed again or hasn't sold. And what I do is I think every night I wanted to sit there until I hit 100 letter. Every night. I would sit there until from 9 p.m. all the way to midnight, or maybe sometime 1 o'clock, sometime 2 o'clock. But however long it takes, I want to hit 100 letters. At first, it was 30 letters. Then I said, Khang, you can do better than that. Then it was 50 letters. I said, Khang, you can do better than that. Then it just keep on going. And then I said, you know what? Khang, how bad do you want this? You say you want it, but how bad do you want it? I said, I want this bad. I said, I want this bad. I want to get away from this. I want to get away from this job thing. I want it bad. So I said, you know what? 100 letter, boom, boom, boom. And, you know, and so that's what I did. 100 letters per night. But I start off like, you know, 30, 40, 50, and then I amp it up. So I hope that answered your questions, Delano. Kissa B, what is the best way to build a solid buyer's list? Krista, I think if you look back at my old video, I created a video that gives you 11 ways to find cash buyer. There is no particular way. I think you just gotta hit every single angle and trying to find and just trying to build up your cash buyer as quickly as possible. A lot of people would do Craigslist, but Craigslist is kind of a hit and miss A majority of them there on there are all the wholesale as well, which is fine. You can connect and network with them. But for me so far, it's directly connecting with agents. Agents has buyer. There are agents that also buy property and going to fix it and flip it themselves or buy and hold. Some of these agents are just getting their license because they want access to the MLS. They want to check out foreclosure. They want to get access to the MLS. All right. So some of them are investor, but these agents have buyers that are willing to pay you more than savvy investors. Savvy investor, where you hear them, you're like, this is what I do for a living. I buy tons of property. Those are the ones that's going to have to buy it at a major discount, which is the 30% off. But most of my assignment fee are larger is when I connect with agents that have buyers, that have mom and pop, that have some money sitting in the 401k, or they just sold a piece of property. Now they want to buy a property for their kids to go in there, put in some sweat equity and fix it up and live in there for a year or 2 years and then sell it. Or a contractor that's looking to buy their first fix and flip, and they don't know about the whole 30% rules. All they do is all they think is, you know what, I make $30,000 a year or $20,000 working for 6 months or 8 months or whatever, and if I can flip a property and make $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, I'll be happy. So I would connect with agents. They have those kind of buyers. Go to your local RIA and network with people. Just start doing everything you can, right? There's just no one way. Just because you have the time, just to take out any way you can, because you want to build this buy up quick. Oh boy. Miss BMBU Khang, I need your expertise advice. I want to put an offer in an REO. Okay, hold on a second. But the contract looks very intimidating, and realtor has a deposit on the contract for $10,000. Okay, that seems too much. So yeah, so typically when you deal with REO property, when you deal with REO property, just make sure that you have a contingent. As long as you tell your agents. Because a lot of times some of these bank-owned property, they don't allow contingents. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is, as long as you have a contingent in there, ask your agent, because they're supposed to work on your behalf, right? So they're supposed to work on your behalf. So you tell them, whatever it is, and if the earnest money, if the earnest money is too much, you let them know, hey, that's too much. And you just tell them, hey, this is what I'm comfortable with, $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever it is, or $500, and it either work or it doesn't work. But you have to let the agent know that, I need an inspection period, and the reason why you need the inspection period, in case of anything, you can't find a buyer, you'll be able to back out. So you tell the agents, I need at least 10 or 15 days of inspections, and that 10 to 15 days, Miss MBU, it will allow you to go ahead and find your buyer. And if you can't find your buyer, you'll be able to back out. But gotta make sure you have your contingent. Once you have your contingent on there, then you should be okay. A lot of time now, that's what I told my agents. Like, they put, I don't care what's in there, as long as there is a contingent for me, then I'm cool. That's all I ask for them, contingent. I need inspection contingent. That's it. So as long as you have that, you should be good to go, which means if you can't find a buyer, you'll be able to back out and get all your deposit, your earnest money back. By the way, I back out the other offer I told you about. Yeah, that's good. That number, Miss MBU, it doesn't even make sense anyway. And for those of you who are looking at a deal where you're trying to make the deal work because you've been going at this for a while, you've been sending in an offer, you've been talking to seller, you've been connecting with agents, but you can't see to get anything comes back where you feel like, oh man, this seller might be motivated. And then when you get something where the seller comes back with a reduced price, you get all excited and you try to focus on that one and you try to make it work. And then you try to find different ways to make it work, etc. What I'm telling you is that, which means you're working on too little of you having too little leads or too little deals coming in. You do what you can. You talk to the seller, you make your offer, you negotiate, you give them the max you can, and then you just move on. It either works or it doesn't. If it doesn't work, right now, I'm just dealing with the seller. The exact same thing. Seller comes back. Seller say, hey, I want 300 for it. I got other investor looking at it. I shoot him a text back saying we can't do that. Well, you know, the 225, will you guys consider that? They came back and said 268 and we can make it happen. And I said 268, we can't make it work. I'm sorry. This is the max we can go. 235. They said, sorry, Khang. At 235, I'd rather list the property. And then I just text back and said, that's great. Wish you guys the best. I wish you guys, I wish you guys luck selling your property quickly. But if you ever consider or change your mind or consider an offer, give us a call back at that time. And then you just have to move on, right? You don't want to dwell on that. You don't want to try to make it work. You already did what you can. Just let it be and just move on to the next one. You know, when I first started out, I was focusing on one so much that I forget about everything else, right? Because I was so focused on trying making that one work. What I'm telling you is do what you can, make your best offer when it comes down to it, and then if they don't accept, plant the seed, let them know that, hey, you know what? If for some ever reason you decided to change your mind or whatever reason happened, please give us a call back. We're more than happy to rediscuss with you, but we're interested in wanting to move forward. Here's our price, all right? And then just move on. 286, how long did it take you to make the 100K a month? Let me see here. That's back in 2017. I think after like a year and a half into wholesaling, year and a half into wholesaling. So let me see here. Jose, hey man, can you send me a contract, bro? I've been emailing you for, hold on, for the longest. It will be so generously of you, brother. Jose, so right now what it is, since those videos is way back, I don't give out my contract anymore. You have to purchase my package. But I understand you don't have to purchase my package because you want the contract. People purchase my King Kong Amazing Seller Script package only for two reasons. One, they're having trouble negotiating and talking to seller to get them to come down on price and how to do it virtually and lock your property up on a contract over the phone. Two is you'll be able to get access to enter my private Facebook page where I share with you even more stuff about my business, and I expose more stuff. I share with you more stuff, conversation with seller, with buyer, with agents, text messages, all kinds, more stuff than I can share on YouTube, because these are the people that are willing to invest in me and pay and things like that, and I want to give back the most I can. But if you are just looking for free contract, what if I were you, go on to the Facebook Wholesaling Houses full time and go up there and go ahead and go on there and put in and say, hey, I'm from Georgia. Anybody have a purchase and sale contract or assignment agreement that they use here that I can that I can have? Or for those of you who always ask, make sure you give something in return. I'm happy to pay you, help you out, some kind of a fee in exchange for your contract or whatever it is. But I'm more than happy to do that, right? So a lot of them would be like, hey, you know what? Give me $50, give me $100, whatever it is, right? And then do the exchange. Make sure that both parties happy, right? There are people that are willing to give to you for free, but I'm just saying if they don't, then go ahead and work some kind of things out of an exchange. Hi, please tell us how you develop your script. So Kevin, I want to let you guys know that the script that it's not something that I got in and I magically came up with. It was something where I learned through trial and error, and I learned from other people. I take a little bit from this person, and then I test it out, and it works well. It works really good. And then I take a little bit from this person, a little bit from this person, people that I see and watch on YouTube, or maybe I go to the local RIA and I meet up with a little bit from my mentor, etc. And then I combine them, and then I put them into my own thing where that's when my business skyrocket is when I started to get so good at talking to seller, at negotiating, getting them to come down and drop down on price. All right, just by asking simple questions, right? Before, I only know how to say, hey, what's the best you can do? But beside that, you got to be able to have a reason behind it. So once I discover how to talk to them better, that's when my business skyrocket. That's when we're able to put it on paper and train a VA. But everything on there is from I learn from other people, just through trial and error, test it out and see what works and see what doesn't. And, to lock property up in the contract, talking to seller and knowing what to say is how you're going to lock it up a contract virtually. Otherwise, when the seller said, well, you got to come out and see my property. What are you going to do? Are you going to come out and see the property? See, so my script will show you how to say it, so that way you can handle the objections, and we don't go out and see the property, we don't see the seller, and we'll lock it up all over the phone, okay? Because a lot of times people will get the first phone call and they were like, okay, thanks a lot for the information. Let me do some research. Can I meet you tomorrow? Can I meet you the next day? No, I'll show you how to get their commitment to sell their property to you all over the phone. Anthony 216, what if cash buyer want to work? Hold on a second. And the thing is, you guys, my whole thing is, I don't want to overpromise anybody anything, because I rather the other way around, because I know that, it's a small world. If you don't do what you say you're going to do, word is going to spread. So the Facebook page, when you guys go on there, you guys will see I am actively on there. I'm not just selling you the products, and I'm not actively on there. I want to help. I want to see everybody succeed on there. But the nice thing about the community that I truly just really, really love is everybody in there are just helping each other out. They'll be like, hey, do you want me to partner up with you where I will help you, call you back being your purchase manager? I can call you back being this, being that, and trying to help each other out succeed. Hey, I got this property I'm working on, and I'm trying to analyze it. Could you help me analyze? And we all jump on there and help each other analyze and succeed. And that's what I love about the community. Now, let me share with you one thing. You know how I do the deal and no deal Saturday? Sometime when you first start out, you're not good at estimating repair costs. You're not good at estimating ARV. So I'm telling you, when you join a community where everybody's like-minded to help each other, just one clue, it's already going to pay it off. Let's just say you look at this piece of property and you're trying to analyze the ARV and the rehab, and all of a sudden your number is off. Your ARV is too low, or maybe you overestimate your rehab or underestimate your rehab. But because of you underestimate your ARV, we have this one situation already where I did it on the last Saturday, where whoever it is underestimated ARV. We call some agents around, figure out that the ARV was like almost $100,000 more, and hopefully he'll be able to call back the seller and lock that deal up in contract. And that deal could make you $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. And the cost to get into the program is $495. And you can be in there forever. I don't kick you out or anything like that. I actually love it when people do deals and stay on there and helping those that haven't done their deals to get one done. And I really, truly want to see everybody on there, obviously making money, getting deals, and then, getting the return on their money and the value on it. But I truly love the community. I'm trying to take over Miami, brother. Jose, that's right, man. And it's always one step at a time, buddy. When I first started out, my wife and I wanted to take over the whole states. And so I like your ambitions. What if cash buyer wants to walk inside your virtual? What if cash buyer wants to walk inside your virtual and you virtual? So Anthony 216, I guess what you're trying to say is that when you're virtually wholesaling and your buyer, so you want to set up a walkthrough and inspection for your buyer, how do you do that? Is that what you're saying? So if that's what you're saying, what it is so you tell your buyer, hey, drive by the property. If everything checks out, do your number. If everything looks good, let me know what day and time will work for you. So basically right now, the buyers drove by. The buyer said, yep, Anthony, I love it. I like it. I'm ready to go. Could you set me up? So you will tell me what day would I like. I tell you what day and time will work for me. And then what you do now is you're going to call the seller and line it up. You're going to call the seller. You're going to be like my contractor. All right, my contractor or my partner, or whatever you want to call. I typically just say my contractor is going to go over there to on Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Would that work for you? He's just going to do a quick walkthrough, just to look at the inside of the house, the outside, to make sure that we can, figure out all the rehab costs, etc. Just make sure that there's no major issue with the property. Would that work for you, Mr. Seller? So now you want to set it up, and then at this time, you already prep the seller, letting the seller know that this is my contractor that's going to walk through the property. And then you're going to tell your buyer, hey, you are there on behalf of our company as your contractor to view and look through the property to see if there's any, obviously that they need to do their inspection. So they are there on behalf of you, your company, and as a contractor, and that you tell your buyer, and hopefully you can respect us, but please don't discuss pricing with the seller. You can ask the seller anything you like regarding the property, but please don't discuss about pricing. And typically what I would do, if that's the buyer that I work with for the first time, you would like to have some foot on the ground. So maybe your brother, your sister, calling other wholesaler, connecting with other agents, or whatever it is, pay them and saying, hey, you know what, what would it cost for you to go out there and be and represent our company? I'll pay you like $50 or $100, whatever it is. But it's nice to have someone on the ground there, and that's why you want to start building your team, right? Start reaching out to other wholesaler, saying, hey, you know what, I have a property here, I'm going to have my buyers, and the seller's going to be there. Would you go ahead and be there? Once we close, I'll pay you, $100, $200, whatever it is that they're going to ask, right? So you want to start building your team and make sure you have foot on the ground if you can. But that's pretty much it. That's how you set up the walkthrough. And you have to let your buyer know that this is a one-time walkthrough / inspection. So please bring your contractor, your inspector, whoever you need to bring with you to be at that inspection. But afterward, we would like to get an answer from you. So you want to prep your buyer up. Because why? Because you don't want your buyer to keep on asking you to go back into the property. The more they go back into the property, the more issue is going to come up. And the chance of them going to close on is really rare. You want them to go in there, know whatever they need to look at, and they need to give you an answer afterward if they want to move forward or not. Don't waste your time. We don't want to bother the seller and things like that. So if you don't prep your buyer up like that, they're going to ask to come back in and in again. Trust me, it happens to me. So prep them up, let them know it's a one-time, bring whoever you want with you. If they are solid, if these are solid buyer, they should not have a problem. If these are not solid buyer, they're going to wiggle. They're going to be, if this is another wholesaler trying to, they're going to be like, I don't know, typically I don't, I need to go back in, at least 2-3 times. Well, why? Why? You get your contractor, your inspector, whoever you want with you. You can spend as much time as you need at the property, but we can only do it once for you. And the reason why is we don't want to bother the seller. We already told the seller that this is going to be a quick, hassle-free sale. We don't want to bother the seller, and we want to keep our reputation. And we never had issue with our buyer going in there looking at, if this is something you do, then there shouldn't be a problem, right? So that's what you want to tell them. Well, solid buyer doesn't need to walk with contractor, period. Yeah, sometimes. Oh man, we got a lot here, so I'm trying to go through. Susan, what's the best for leads? Proper good? Proper good? I'm not sure what you're trying to say. Susan, what is the best for leads? Well, we do everything from probates, from code violations, from, tax liens, high equity, out-of-state owner, vacant, and all that. So you got to hit, it depending on your budgets, but you want to hit as many lists as you can. GMA Property Solution, I don't know if this is appropriate, but is anyone from New Jersey? GMA, yeah, it's appropriate, not a problem. I know you're trying to connect with people. It's completely okay, not a problem at all. Ethan Kosvik, yes. I don't know what the yes is. Maybe I haven't. Oh, what's the name? Okay, hold on a second. It's okay. Anthony 216. Is it a good idea to cold call probate? In my opinion, why not? But I would cold call. I typically, when I cold call, I don't direct, if it's probate or something like that, I don't directly say that I cold call because I want to buy their property. You want to cold call like it's a blank call. Like, hey, you know what? My name is Khang. I'm with a local investment company. We are, we're looking to buy 3 to 5 more property within the next 30 to 60 days for cash. do you have a house or a property you're interested in selling? And if it's a probate, they would say, yes, we do. We actually, you know, my parents or my brother, sister just passed away, and we just inherit, you know, we just inherit the property here, and we're actually wanting to, you know, not sure what we're going to do with it. Okay, cool, great. You know what? We buy properties in any condition, any situation. So if you do have so if you are remotely consider selling, I would love to help you out. So my job is actually to collect and gather all the information from you regarding the property, so that way our team, our company can construct you a fair and intelligent offer, typically within the next 24 to 48 hours. Would that work for you? And then you just start going in. But I wouldn't directly targeting them when I call, because it would come off like, you know, you know. So it really depends. Like, but for me, in my opinion, I wouldn't like it when people know that, hey, they call me because they know that I got somebody passed away, and it's like you're trying to hunt for these kind of things. So some people get really weird about it. So I typically don't try to target them like I'm calling because of the house. How much is the script? Booty Tees, the link is in the description. The script package is $4.95. Now please, Booty, do not buy the package deal unless you are ready and you are committed to take your life to the next level, and to commit it, and to know that to succeed in this business is your responsibility, not anybody else's, but yours. A lot of times you can give people good products, but that person must take that products and must make it happen. They must take the products, they must make it happen. All I know is I know the script package worked, and the reason why I know it worked, because all of my VA were able to lock property and tie it on by contract. And we have people that got the script that's on the Facebook page. They use it. Jose read the script, and he basically, the script is to let you know, giving you ammunitions to come back and how to handle and control seller. So he was able to call seller back, negotiate with the seller. These are leads that he didn't want to follow up, right? And then he calls back and follow up and use the stuff that was in the script, and he's able to lock that property up in a contract, and he's going to keep it as a long-term rental. So all I know is I know it works, and I know because my VA does it, not just me. Joe Dirt, what up, what up? Happy Sunday. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. So for all the dads, boom, 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 boom. Smash that thumbs up, you guys. Oh man, we're 30 minutes in. The air conditioner broke, so God, I sweat it. It's hot in here. So let me see here. Dominic Spinkler. Probably pronounced it wrong. I'll probably chop your name. I'm sorry, man. When you're cold calling or when you're generating leads, do you make an offer on the first phone call? No. Or do you get back with the seller another day to analyze the deal and then make the offer? Great question. So Dominic, I do not make an offer on the first phone call. The first phone call is always the phone call that gather information regarding the property. Now, if it's a hot deal, so let's just say the seller said, hey, you know what? You asked the seller the question, so what do you think the property's worth in today's market? The seller said $100,000. Well, what are you looking to get for it? Well, I'm looking to get $50,000. Boom. But you don't make the offer. You do not make the offer. What you do is you set the same day appointment to be an hour later. 2 hours later. That's how I do it. So if it's a hot lead, I said, okay, thank you so much. I got all the information I needed from you for now. So I'm going to send this into our team, have them do the research on it, and then get back to you. Now, if you're a one-man, one-woman show, then you said, okay, I'm going to send it to a team, have them do a research, and I should call you back in about an hour or 2 hours. Would that work for you? And you want to be the one that sets the appointment. So, John, I'm going to call you back in about... so right now it's 11 o'clock. I'm going to call you about 12:30. Would that work for you to make you an offer on the property? And then you want to get a commitment. And I teach you guys in the script, get a commitment. So John, when I call back at 12:30 and I present you with an offer, if we can come to an agreement, are you ready to get the paperwork done and sell your property? If the seller's no, I won't be, I still got to look at other offer, etc. Then now you kind of know where the seller's at, okay? So you got to prep them up again. And, John, I understand that you want to go and you want to look for other offer, etc. But you know what? Our team, we're ready to go. We're looking to buy some more properties. We only can buy 1 or 2 more property within the next 30 days or so. So if you are serious about selling, I'm going to make sure that I send this into our team and put a express date which means I'll put express on it. So need them to go ahead and work on your property right away to make you an offer right away. But for me to go ahead and get my team to do that, you know, I want to make sure that you're all ready that to move forward if we can agree on a price. Does that work for you? Or you just wanted to get an offer from us? Okay, so you want to make sure you prep the seller up like that so you can lock them in when you call back. And the call back is you want to mentally know that this is going to be a yay, nay, and a move forward or not. All right, it's not going to be the playing game where I take your offer, I send it out. No, so you want to prep them up, all right? And a lot of times, James Stanley, do you use Go Big Printing to schedule your mailing? James, absolutely, man. I know, James, you're in the group. So what I'm going to do for you guys is that I'm going to ask the wife about Go Big Printing, how she set it up. I'm going to share it with you guys, okay? But yes, she does go through that. And it's really easy. Once you set it up, then it's just a click of a button for marketing it. It sends out once a month. We hit that property 6 months straight, and then we move on to the next one. Man, as I can't pronounce your first name. Alex, what up, man? Happy Sunday. When assigning a contract for an assignment fee, can you ask the wholesaler get part of that fee by Earnest Money? Say get 1,000 as earnest when assigning a 5K and then get the 4K at closing. Hold on a second, I'm kind of confused. And let me share with you another thing about the nice thing about having the Facebook page too, is having somebody holding you accountable. You know, when you open your Facebook page and a member on there and say, hey, you know what, today I just sent out 100 letters. I just got some callback. I'm doing cold call on a Saturday. And it makes you like, man, I got to do something, right? Look at my team member. They're making things happen. I got to do something, right? So if you are ready and committed to succeed in this business, surround yourself by massive action taker. The day you feel like I don't want to do anything, you look at your Facebook, oh man, my team member are crushing it. What the heck am I doing, right? So it gets you, it pushes you, it pushes you, it challenges you, and it's not, because if you surround yourself by people like, you know what, it's okay, don't do it, relax, take a break, etc., you're not going to push yourself hard. You're not going to push yourself hard. And I promise you, eventually you're going to get to the point where it's going to become easy for you, where you're going to be like, yep, you know what, where you have the capital, the cash to start leveraging, and life's going to be much easier and much funner and much more happier. So let me get back to the question. I'm so sorry. Say get 1,000 as an earnest money when assigning a 5K. So, Alex, what it is when you are assigning it, your earnest money to the seller, you are going to get back. So let's just say you put $1,000 earnest money to tie the contract with the seller, you're going to get that $1,000 back regardless. Now, once you assign it to your buyer for $5,000, right? So you assign it to your buyer for $5,000, okay? And what it is, it's now you're going to tell your buyer to put a non-refundable deposit. It's not an earnest money, it's a non-refundable deposit, which means your buyer is not going to get this money back. And if your buyer is solid, once they say they're ready to go, they're going to be okay to put down a non-refundable. So on a $5,000, honestly, I typically tell my buyer to put in all $5,000. But let's just say, because to me, that's just such a small amount compared to, you know, my assignment fee of kind of where our market is. But it's dependent on every market. So let's just say you tell your buyer to put $2,000 non-refundable. So what it is that at the time of closing, you know, basically you're going to get another $3,000 and you're going to get your earnest money back. So the total checks that you're going to get back is you're going to get back $6,000. So Alex, I don't know if that makes sense or not. I hope I didn't confuse you, but leave it in the comment and let me know. So basically whatever your assignment fee is, your earnest money, you're going to get it back, right? You're going to get your assignment fee and you're going to get your deposit with the seller back. So the total, yeah. Okay, Alex said thank you. So which means you got it. Great. I mean, that's probably the most important thing to me is when I explain things, because I know, you know, sometimes my vocab are not, you know, great. So I want to make, and then sometimes I might say stuff over and over again too much or repeat myself, and I want to make sure that you understand. And if you don't, please, you guys, you know, just like when I was speaking at the RIA, if anything I say that does not make sense or you don't agree, please drop me a comment. Let me know. I do not get offended because I know that I am also learning, right? I am. I'm not a guru. I'm not a master. I am a student. So I am learning. If there's anything I say or don't make sense or whatever it is, I'm willing to say, okay, you know what? I could be wrong on that. So it's okay. I'm not offended about anything, and I just want to let you guys know that. When you say that when you say you don't need to learn anymore, that's when that's not a good spot. So I know that I'll always be learning, and I could be learning from you guys as well. So it's not just. What do you do when I can't get the phone number of the property owner and can't reach him by mail? What to do when I can't get the phone number of the property owner and can't reach by mail? Well, I mean, if you're in the area, the only thing you can do is drive to the house and try to put as much notice on the window, on the door, or tape it. I mean, do whatever you can to get the attention of the owner. But if you try to skip trace, you can't get the phone number, and you try to send a letter, you can't get a new property address, you just have to move on. I mean, I guess, you already did what you can, and if you just can't find them, then you just have to move on. And the thing is, you guys, I want you guys to understand this. There is so many deals out there. Do not be stuck, and do not dwell on one deal. If you are dwelling on one deal, which means you're not working on enough deals. All right. Because I have that same problem, and I was just like, and I lost on other opportunities because I was just dwelling on one. I'm about to send some direct mail out about over 2K postcard. Love it. Should I all 2K or break it up in parts? Oh, I'm so glad that you asked me this. What do you recommend, as I am new? I am a one-man show. Oh man, I am so glad you asked me this. And so I would break it down. So break it down, that way your mail is coming out per week. Otherwise, your one-man show, like me when I first started, you're gonna pull your hair apart, okay? So you wanna make sure it's per week, all right? Otherwise, you're sending 2,000 letters, let's just say you send out in the first of the month, you're gonna start getting calls for the next 2 weeks. And then guess what happened? The call's gonna stop. First, the call's gonna come in where you couldn't even handle it because you're a one-man show. I know, I was there, all right? I was there for too long. So you could not handle it. Okay, so what it is that, and then all of a sudden 2 weeks later, it's dry. Now you're sitting around wondering where the heck, where's all the phone call. So you want to break it down per week. Every single week, you want to have your marketing coming out. So that way you're getting calls, a couple calls per week or so, right? So that way you'll be able to handle it. Because when it goes all out at once, you're just gonna go crazy, and you're gonna lose on a lot of deals, and you're gonna waste your money because you cannot keep up. All right, you won't be able to keep up. Is there an issue with making a deal with a real estate agent on a property? No, Jose. There's actually, I do it all the time. There is no issue doing deal with agents. There is no issue. Period. All right. And it's nice to connect with agents. Sometimes they have pocket listing, which means before they list it on our MLS, they're able to send it to you to give you the first opportunities to come in to make the offer and to see how you can make the deal work for you. Okay, oh, cool. I'll break it up. Glad I asked. Yes, I'm glad you asked us as well. What about to schedule all a drop off as once? I'll break it up. Yes. Elisa, do I need funding to start wholesaling or an LLC? You do not need funding because you're not going to buy these property. You're not going to flip these property. All you're going to do is you're going to lock it up on a contract, and it gives you the right to go ahead and assign it and find another buyer that wants to buy it and assign it over to them for a profit. So you do not need to find funding. You don't need bank funding. You don't need private. You don't need hard. You do not need any kind of funding. Okay, or an LLC. Now, Alicia, if you are committed and you have cash, I would create an LLC. But if you don't, you do not need an LLC to start this, all right? You can start by putting the property under contract under your own personal name. But if you do have the money and you are serious and you are committed to succeed in this business, then I would open up an LLC. Because now you can put it under an LLC name and you can just say, hey, I'm part of a company. You're working part of a company. Man. Oh my God, it's getting warm in here. Jose, you're dropping jewels. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Khang, you're the GOAT. I came across a lot of wholesaling channel and you're definitely the best one I have come across, man. I respect your hustle. Thank you so, so much. Oh man, that's music to my ears. And thank you so much. And Jose, you know, I'm just so grateful, so humble to be able to sit here and be able to share my experience, my journeys, and everything that I have learned and everything I will be learning. I'm not a smart and not an intelligent guy. I'm a high school dropout and was just able to be blessed to discover this business and freaking grind and hustle and do whatever it was taken through all the hard work and determination and focus, and able to get here today and to maybe now sharing back my experience, my knowledge, and things that I gather from other people, not anything that I came up with myself. I'm not that smart. I didn't come up with anything of this myself. It's all from learning from people, all from trial and error, and now I'm able to share back with you guys. So I'm so grateful to have you guys a part of the family, a part of the channel. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. You helped me make, oh man, wait a second. Brandon Coles, you helped me make $13K of my first deal out of Springfield, Massachusetts. Thanks so much. Are you kidding, Brandon? Woo! Everybody give Brandon a thumbs up. Brandon, drop me a comment with your email. I actually got to reach out to one more person that said that the channel helped them did their first 3 deal or whatever like that. But Brandon, if that is true, if I really, really help you, and it doesn't have to be me, it could be anybody else, it's okay. You know, but if it is, drop me a comment. I'm actually going to type it in right now. Shoot me an email. Oh, geez, I don't even know how to. Oh, wait, hold on. Chat. Oh, yeah, I don't even know how to. Put. So, Brandon, drop me an email. It's wholesale2millions at gmail.com. Drop me an email right now. I would love to get you set up, get you on the show to share your first wholesale deal interview with you. And the reason why, Brandon, it's not for you to like saying, hey, Khang, or anything like that. You don't have to drop my name or whatever. But what it is the purpose of me wanting to do that, because I want to help inspire and motivates those that haven't done their wholesale deal. Let them know that there are real people out there that are doing this business and making it happen. And it can happen for any one of us, not just somebody you watch on YouTube that are making a couple $100,000 already. And that it can happen for anybody. So Brandon, drop me an email. Man, that's so awesome. Oh man, I'm so excited for you guys. And the thing is, you guys, I love the first wholesale interview. It really brings me back to 5 years ago when I first did my deal. So that's why I'm so excited for you guys, because I know how powerful it is. Once you do your first wholesale deal, it's always the hardest. But once you first do your wholesale deal, the rest is history. The beast inside of you, you're just gonna unleash. Boom, man, you're just gonna skyrocket. Okay, no problem. Can you give me that email again? It's wholesale2millions with an S, wholesale2millions at gmail.com, Brandon. Dude, congrats, bro. That is awesome. Man, that's just so amazing. 13K. You guys, 13,000. I probably had to work almost 6 months, you know. Before that, I probably had to work 6 months to make that. In this business, you guys, once again, and I say this so many times, and obviously I don't want to keep saying, it only takes one deal. So keep going, keep pounding, keep hustling. It only takes one deal to change everything around. Whether you're owing some money, some credit card, you're trying to get through, etc. It takes one deal to flip the table around. You're upside down, you can turn it right side up. If you're upside down, you can turn the table just by one wholesale deal, and that's what's so amazing about this business. And you don't need a boatload of money to start, all right? $500, a couple $100. It's all about the hustle, the grind, the willingness to do whatever is necessary and make it happen. How do I know if I have a deal priced right? It's my first deal. It's my first deal, but having trouble finding a buyer. Eric Williams. Well, there's a formula that you use, and you should check out. I do have another. I'm sorry. I do have another. And Brandon said I only took $10 earnest money, guys. It only took. You guys see that? It's not just me saying it, you guys. You're listening to other people now. Earnest money is how you talk to sellers. Sellers sometimes don't even ask. I could have put $1. I could have put $2, $5. Brandon put $10. $10 to lock a deal up under contract, assign it, and make $13,000. I don't know what kind of a business out there where you can put up $10 and make $13K. Oh man, that's exciting. I lost where I was. I'm sorry. So Eric Williams, you see, Eric Williams, this is the kind of things where, you know, if you are serious and committed, it's being able to join the private Facebook, and we'll be able to help you out, things like this, to know if the deals that you're looking at, if it's a deal or no, if it's a deal or not a deal. All right, if you calculate your ARV, you use the formula, and then you can click on my other YouTube channel. I give you 11 different ways to find cash buyer. And I wouldn't just do one. I would just try every single way to find that cash buyer. So let me see here. Oh, it's getting hot in here. So a few more and then I'm off, you guys. Is it possible to wholesale 200K plus property? What's the average price to look for? Is it possible to wholesale 200K plus properties? What's the average price to look for? Dominic, I'm not exactly sure what you're trying to say. Are you trying to say, is it possible to wholesale 200K plus property? Are you trying to ask, is there 200K plus property average price to look for? Dominic, are you trying to say that can someone actually wholesale 200,000 property a year? Or are you talking about the price? If you are talking about a price, Dominic, Spangler, yes, you can. Price range, average. What is the average price? The price that I try to stay between is the $150 to $350 to $400,000, right? When you get them to the 7, the 8, the millions, then it means less people have those kind of cash sitting around. So I try to start, so more people have, you know, the 3, the 4, the, you know, the $500,000, the 150, the 200, the 300. So I try to stay in that price range. Dominic, did that answer your question? How can you tell if you're in a flip area or a rental area? Gillian Pole, happy Sunday and welcome to the family and channel. How can you tell? Typically, how can you tell if you're in a flip or a rental area? I know that typically in the rental area, like in Maryland, you can buy a duplex for like $60,000, and you can rent each unit out for like you know, $900 a piece, which means you're only paying $30,000 per unit, and you're getting, you know, $700, $800, or $900 in rent. In my area, there's no way you can. There's no way that's going to happen. In my area, the best that I wanted to do is, if I buy for $100,000, if I buy a single family home for $100,000, I want to get back at least $1,000 in rent, and that is the 1% rules. I mean, in any area you can, you know, you can flip, but but there are areas where it will be a good rental area because you can buy for $50,000 and you can rent it out for like $900 to or you know, $800 and $900. You know, but in some area there's no way you'll be able to find that. All right. Hi Khang, you are the man. Do you set up LLC in every state you virtually wholesale in? As far as I know, we only set it up with one state. Cause I right now only do in my states. Yeah, maybe I should say that. Yeah, I only do in my states. So What if your market has no title company? Then it's probably an attorney. Paul, then Paul, man, what up? Happy Sunday. Then that means it's a attorney state, not a title state. All right, so you got to find an attorney that know how to do these kind of transactions. And the best way is post that on the wholesaling houses full time. Now, you guys, my mentor actually asked me, Khang, you're promoting them and things like that. Well, I have nothing to do. Like I don't get any benefit from promoting the wholesaling house full time. The reason why I promote that page and tell you guys to put your question on there, because there's so many member on there. Over 60,000 member on there. So a lot of time when you post something, you're looking for a title company or attorney that know how to do these kind of stuff. There should be someone on there that's in the area you're looking to wholesale that can give you the answer to that. Like that. Or you post it on Bigger Pockets, okay? 286 Khang, this is a little personal. Maybe, but how much deal did you close in 2017? Not personal at all. 286. I don't know exactly how many deals. To me, it's not about deals. It's about how much I bring in. So the goal in 2017 was 100K per month, and that's what we did. So it's not about how many deals. It's about the net amount. What is in? What do you make? Right? Because a lot of times where you see people, oh, I closed 7 deals this month. Well, and they say, well, I closed 7 deals this month. Boom, 35K. Dude, I do that in 1 deal. Right? And maybe for me, I'll be like, oh yeah, you know what? I did 3 deals and we made this much, 80 or 100K. And some guy will be like, dude, I did that in 1 deal. So it really depends. Don't hear people saying, oh, I closed 3, 4, 5 deals, and then you start comparing yourself. You'll be like, man, I only do 2 deals, 1 deal. No, the amount is way more important. How much you make. Right? You can do 10 deals, but it only takes me 1 deal or 2 deals. All right. So it's not the deals, but the amount. And 286, actually, there is nothing personal at all. If anything I can answer, I'll answer for you guys. If it is, I'll let you know. But thanks a lot. Brandon said he got from Craigslist. Bennett sign did it for me. Awesome, man. Way to hustle. I love it. Delana Pole again, how do you get familiar with a new virtual market? What are the things that you want to know? Man, this is going to be a long questions, Dylan. So what you want to do is you want to call around the area, talk to some realtor in the local area, see what's the market is doing. Is it hot? And things like that, and you want to make sure the price range between the 150, 350, 400. You want to put some ghost ad on Craigslist to see if you can get any buyers or any wholesaler. If you put an ad on Craigslist and you put a discounted property 50 cents on the dollar, and you get one call or two call, that's probably not a good area where there's enough cash buyer for you. And I wouldn't just judge based on that one thing. But there's a certain way that my wife, that she does it all through list source, where she can find out how many cash buyer is in that area to buying for cash. Now, if you guys don't know how to do it that way, what I would recommend is calling up the agents and tell them to pull up all the cash transaction for you that happens the last, 3 months, 6 months. Then you know if there's enough cash transaction going. If there is, which tells you that there is enough cash buyer in that area. As far as in the amount of cash buyer, I would say, within the last 3 or 6 months or so, you want to see an active I don't have the exact number. I know my wife has the number. But you want to make sure there is enough cash buyer in that area to wholesale in, all right? And you want to make sure that that market, it's not in a market where nothing is happening as well, all right? So call some realtor, talk to them, and kind of feel it out and see how it is. Connect, network, go on the Bigger Pockets, post some ad on Craigslist, connect on the wholesaling houses full time. Typically, you can search on the Facebook page, wherever you are, wholesaling or real estate investing in whatever area it is. There should be a local page for that area, and then you can start connecting with people and start filling it out and see how that market is. All right, but do not ever analyze and let it paralyze you. Do some research. And then find an area and then just start taking action. Do not keep on researching and researching and researching. All right? So pick an area, find an area. I would take, it only really takes about a couple days or a week. figure out what you need to do, find it out, and then take action. Take action is the key. If you make a wrong choice, if you make a mistake, you can change. But if you don't move, then you don't know which direction you're gonna go. You gotta make a move. If it's wrong, then you can adjust. If it's right, then you keep on going. But if you don't make a decision, you just stay in one spot and you just kind of look around saying, and then 3 months in, you haven't even make a move. 4 months in, you haven't make a move. You rather make a move, know it's wrong. You'd be like, okay, well, now I need to do this. Now I need to do that. All right. So take actions. Oh man. All right, you guys. I think the wife's done. We're about an hour in. Thank you so much for every one of you guys able to join me today live. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. And you guys, like I said, everything that I'm sharing with you guys is not because I have come up with. It's because I'm learned from other people. All right. I learned from other people and now I'm just sharing it back with you.